Good evening, guys. How are you all doing? I hope you all are being enjoying the art mela that Shalini and her team have organized. I'm Dr. Amey Parekh from the Thinking Palette, and today we're going to be doing a cottage illustration. And of course, it's going to be a lot of fun. If you all know what I do, I kind of love working with references, photo references, and converting them into artworks. So that's what we're going to be doing today. It's going to be a very fun session. I love to talk to all of you all, so you are always welcome to ask me as many questions as you want. Do me a favor, share this live right now in your DM, send it to your friends, add it to your story so other people also know that I'm live on this platform. Hello Meera, how are you doing? So we got people joining in. Those who don't know me, I'm Dr. Amey Parekh from the Thinking Palette, and a lot of you all probably already do know me. So hello everybody. Hello Shruti, hello Shivansh. So what we're going to do today is I'll just show you all so that you all know what you need to keep ready. Okay, this is the artwork that we're going to be making. So of course I always love creating live illustrations which I've not done before. We're going to require these, any paper will do for illustration. 140 GSM plus is alright, 200 GSM is better. I have a 170 GSM pad. You're going to require these fine liners, you're going to require these technical pens, okay, or any fine liners, alright, and you're going to require watercolors, okay. So I have got two things. I've got these brushstroke colors also, and I've got my fantastic dirty color palette also. But let's see what we want to begin with. So this is what we are going to be doing. Hello everybody, hello. So we just wait for maybe a minute or so if you all want to ask me any other questions, and then of course we're not going to be wasting time. We're going to be having a lot of fun and we're going to have the session beginning. Again, I'll repeat, you're going to require fine liners, you're going to require any thick paper that's above 170 GSM, and you're going to require watercolors. If you all have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, please don't remember, just share this story, just share this live guide now in your DMs, guys. And we've got the official host Shalini joining in here. Hi Shalini, and thank you again for having me over for this wonderful opportunity and for this amazing work that you guys are doing for this art mela where you all are bringing the art community together. So thank you. Hello Sakshi, hello Watercolor Fascination. We are going to do with the fine liners, we're going to sketch directly with the fine liners. I kind of don't use a pencil and eraser most of the times, and that's what I'm going to be teaching you today. How does it feel to be a great artist? I don't know. Maybe I should ask someone else. I think we're all great artists, and I think it doesn't. There is no question of who's better or who's not better. According to me, we're always learning, and it's good to learn from everybody. Can you share which brushes would be ideal for watercolors? So ideally you can use any synthetic or I don't use natural hair because I sort of am an animal activist, but I use these brushes from Artishields, or they work quite fine. And start with a beginner set. Honestly, start with a beginner set. That's completely fine. In any set that I personally am not a very brand guy. I like to learn techniques and use what is good for us. So we're not going to waste too much time, guys, otherwise people will start leaving. So let me begin the session. I'm just putting it on the tripod, and I will ask you guys if you all have any other questions. Alright. What you're going to just let me know is if the video and audio is clear. I'll play some music also, of course, in the middle, and I'll be checking from my other phone. So if you all have any other questions, I will be answering them. If the comments are disturbing you, just double tap on the screen and the comments will disappear. Cool. I think that was quite a lot of instructions that I've given, and I'm going to play some music. If the music is loud, please let me know. Let me just log in from the other phone so that I don't miss out on any of your questions or comments. Please let me know. Oh, sorry, I forgotten to mute this. Let me just log in from the other phone. Alright, awesome guys. Okay, we'll begin. So what I want you to do first is study the picture. Okay, what we're going to do first is study the picture. So usually I tend to keep the picture in 3:4 ratio. Okay, approximately. So because that is what the paper size is. Now when we work with this paper kind of artwork, you have an option of either making a grid, or honestly when you're doing an illustration, I kind of prefer to do it very freehand. Okay, just see the main aspects that we need to study and bring on the paper. So the main subject of course is the building, and if you see the building carefully, there are two roofs. Okay, there is the chimney, there is the front facade of the building, and these are the side parts of the building where they are the side facades, and here there is a side extension to the building. So we need to kind of break it up into all these parts when we are doing the artwork. Okay, secondly, this all the side whichever is there is only to accentuate the subject, it's not the focus of the subject. So we are main focused on creating the proper building or the cottage, and everything around it is just to sort of highlight the image. Alright, that's how we are going to begin. I'll try to keep the image next to me. If you all can see it, it's fine. If you all can't, I'll keep bringing it in between. I'm going to start with the fine liner. What we're going to do first is we're going to make the top of the roof. Okay, so we know where we're going to work it. So leaving some space on the top area, we're going to start making the roof. Alright, in the center of the paper, a little bit on the top, leaving some space, I'm going to make a very sort of a basic triangle. Okay, just make a sort of a triangle to it. Doesn't have to be very elaborate. And what you can do is, initially if you're not confident, you can use a pencil, but I will mostly be working with the pen directly. Okay, now like I told you that there are going to be 3 facades to the main front. Okay, I am using a 0.3 Brewster pen. We are going to now divide this triangle also into some parts. Okay, so one part here and one part here. Can you see this sort of looks like a pyramid now? Okay, because now we know that this is going to act as the front area. Awesome. So the first area that we got, the front area, is over here. We are going to slightly make it more rounded, don't worry about it, but I want you to first understand how we are going to draw this image. Secondly, there is a chimney here. Okay, so we are going to draw the chimney. How we are going to draw a chimney? Draw 2 parallel lines, approximately parallel. Okay, draw one straight line here. Now you have to give a sort of an angle to it. Okay, so take this portion on the top and then another surface like this, because it's sort of 3D, and draw a second line. Again, remember, it's a free sketch. Even if I draw multiple lines, it doesn't matter. Okay, I'm drawing kind of bricks over here so that it looks more kind of a brick effect. Alright, any questions in the roof? Anybody who's not understood the roof? I'll repeat, we made a triangle, we made a second triangle inside that. So now we have one side of the roof, we have a third side of the roof, and we have the center portion of the roof. Alright, now we are just going to sort of build a little extension over here so that covers this part of the roof. Okay, and you see how I'm angulating it. Okay, we have to imagine that there are sides and it is turning on all the 4 sides. Okay, so imagine if this is the roof, we're drawing one side here, we're drawing one side here, and it's one side here. Okay, so we have to visualize this whenever you're making an image. You have to look at it from a 3D kind of an aspect. Again, I do go fast sometimes, so if I'm going fast, please definitely stop me. I will slow down and repeat. Krupa, hello. If anybody else did not understand, I think everybody said yes, so that's awesome. But whoever's attended my live will know that that's how I sort of teach, so that you also understand how to draw illustrations. Okay, and we're just ending the roof over here. So this is the third part of the roof. Can you see how we've got these kind of shapes? Now you can just sort of make your lines a little more definite. Okay, you can draw little lines here also and make a little kind of a pen effect. Okay, because it's more of a black gray kind of a stone, a little pen effect will actually look nice when we color it. Awesome. Wondering, I'm sorry, the top will be pointed. No, so I'm just making that elevation over here. Okay, there is a bunny, there are 2 bunnies over here also. There are 2 bunnies over here, so we're going to be making those also. This is to explain how to make the roof. Okay, so just a little bit of elevation here, a little side markings. Okay, now how we're going to draw the bunny, I want you to take a little care because I won't be able to repeat this, okay guys, so please take a little care. You don't need to make the exact bunny, we just have to give a sort of a identical sort of a look to it. Now if you see, there are two bunny legs which are attached here, so I want you to first make this much. Okay, first lightly make these two lines so you know that your bunny legs are going to touch here. Next, you need to give a sort of a head over here on both the sides. Okay, and take a body down. Again, remember, you don't need to be very exact. And one leg down, and most importantly, get the ear out. Okay, can you see this? Alright, so the same thing you're going to repeat on the other side. You're going to make sort of a head, you're going to get the ear out. Okay, then you're going to make a slight body to it. Okay, and one leg, then there a tail to it. Can you see now these two bunnies have come in? Alright, so it's now looking like a bunny. We don't need to make it exactly like a bunny, or we don't need to get that much detail inside. You can make two, there are two ears seen, so you can make two ears also, it will look more awesome. Is everybody okay with this much? Did you all have any questions? Do not understand something? I'm just shading this area a little bit more. Awesome. It's okay if it looks like deers, it looks like dogs, it doesn't matter, it's an illustration, guys. But thank you, watercolor fascination. Awesome, guys. Okay, now we're going to move forward. We're going to draw the side area. So what I want you to draw is, in this triangle, I want you to make one straight line here and one straight line a little bit here. Okay, actually it's a little bit broadening, but you can make it almost straight also, it's fine. Thank you, Sonata Mink. Okay, next we are going to draw one parallel line here which is very short, okay, ending at the roof, a little bit on the side. So we got one line here, and then we got one line which is here. Again, this is going to go a little bit outwards. If you can make it a little outwards, it's fine. If you can't make it outwards, just make it straight. Why I'm making this right now? So that you understand that this is what we have made. We've covered the entire top area. Now we are making the building, the structure. Okay, we're making the structure. So we made the front facade, we're making the side facades. Okay, awesome. Now we're going to make this roof first. Why we're going to make this roof first? So that we know where our limits are. Okay, when you're making an illustration, always set your boundaries first. It makes things much more easier when you're making an illustration. And again, this also has two sides. If you see, this has a front side and this has a side side. Okay, like a left kind of a branch. So again, in the roof also we are going to incorporate that immediately. Right? So one line which is going a little bit diagonally, one line which is going a little bit horizontally. Can you see? This diagonal line, I'm going to slightly pull it down but keeping it quite light, and this line I'm going to keep a little more straight. See how lightly I've kept these lines, because there are bushes here and we're going to cover the bushes. Okay, we are going to make the bushes on this. Thank you, Yadvi. Thank you, Art Rocky. Again, guys, if you haven't shared this live with your friends, please do it right now. Get more people here. Awesome. Okay, I assume everybody is all okay. Same thing, I'm just going to pull this line a little bit here and this line a little bit. Keep these lines quite light at the moment because we want to now get the bushes on. Okay. Once you've got this much done, we're going to work with the windows. Okay, how we're going to make the windows? Make one curve, make a second curve. Can you see how probably whoever is a mandala artist will be very easy for them to make this kind of a petal kind of a surface and join them in the middle in the bottom half and make a line here. Great. Now what you're going to do, draw sort of a cross, okay, like a plus sign, leaving a little bit space. Thank you, Shalini. Amazing. So we got a plus sign here and we got a cross kind of a surface here. And again, you're going to give a little bit of a border to it. Remember, you don't have to be very, very precise. Your lines can be double, triple. It's an illustration. It's really quite okay. I know you have an obsession, watercolor fascination for the Roland Garros. You even asked this question in the last live. I still remember this, and I asked you that I don't know how to help you there. Awesome. Okay. Next, what we are going to do is going to create this same kind of a window here, but this you're going to keep only half. Okay, you're not going to take it completely down. Same thing, two parallel lines. Can you see they're not exactly the same shape? Hi Sakshi. Thank you Krupa. Hi Rizvi. So good to see a lot of people I know. And again a plus sign. Okay. I did know. Okay, it's not pinned. Oh, I'm so sorry guys. Thank you Sakshi for reminding me that. So Sakshi is also been an amazing friend and she's really helped me in a lot of ways. So Sakshi, please do check out Mandala with Sisters because she's got an amazing page and she does some really incredible work. Okay, I need to pin it from this, right? I have to just see it from your one. Give me 1 second, guys, because I have to move the camera to do that. Okay, we are just taking a 1 minute pause, guys. Thank you, Sakshi, for reminding me that. I tend to move a little bit fast and sometimes I forget something so simple as this. Thank you. I'm glad Mishti is enjoying. We'll see, yaar. I have the Brewster colors also. I might try those. They're really pigmented, so I also need to take care. And awesome. Okay, so we're back at the picture. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make some bushes here. Okay, how you make bushes is just randomly draw some kind of a flower lines like this. Okay, don't have to be very precise, but just make sort of these bushes over here. Okay, we're going to add a lot of color to it. So you can see how scribbles, I'm just making some scribbles, right? And I'm covering the window, okay? Because the primary bush here is the yellow and the green, okay? So we're going to add those here. Okay, let's use the Brewster ones. I'll show you because the urban landscapes that I did with those, and they're really nice. Actually, they're very pigmented. In fact, I had to erase some of it because I did not expect it to have so much color on it. So that's pretty good. All right, but let's see. So I'm now again making some scribbles here. I'm making some scribbles here. All these are bushes, okay, guys? All these are bushes of different types and different shapes. When we do an illustration, we are always going to modify the picture a little bit here and there. We're not going to copy it exactly because then it may not have the life that we sort of want it to have, So we're going to add a little colors of our own, add a little shape of our own, and that's how we sort of work, okay? Making some random leaves over here. Can you see how I'm making these leaves? So here I made random squiggly lines. Here I'm making a little bit of a leaf kind of a shape, okay? I'm going from the top to bottom because it's a live session and it's easier to explain that way. But when I'm working or drawing, I don't necessarily go in any particular pattern. I'm very random and chaotic when it comes to drawing. But when I'm doing a live, especially, I try to go in one format so it's easier to work and explain. Right now here there are bigger bushes. So what you're going to draw is as if in school, if you drew in school, it's just randomly just make these kind of bushes here. Again, don't have to make anything precise. Let's draw some branches here. Awesome, Shalini. Okay, just random squiggly lines and these bushes. I hope you all are enjoying the live, guys. Very few questions coming in. And there's a bush here, so I'll just make that kind of a bush here, a little bush here, and on the bottom, can you see this? On the bottom there is a hedge. Okay, there is a bush hedge over here, so we're going to define that bush hedge so we get the structure of the cottage completely done. Awesome, guys. Right, so how you're going to do that is as if you're just sort of, you know, giving a border to it randomly, just in this fashion. Okay, around it. So imagine there's a border all over around 360 degrees around this. So you're all just sort of going to make that kind of a border, but a little bit squiggly. Okay, a little bit squiggly, so that it looks like grass. Taking it inwards in this side. So can you see? It's like three designs: left, center, and right. Yeah, I usually play lives in the music because it's when I stop talking in the middle, it sort of helps a lot. Thank you, Meera. So much to learn from everybody, from you also. I've seen your work and it's so good. So thank you for joining in. Again, guys, thank you all for joining and supporting Art Mela and Shalini's venture and their team. An amazing job. Now I'm just defining the lines a little bit more. Okay. Now in the end, what I'm doing is we sort of giving a horizon. Why you should give a horizon is your illustration will look as it has some depth to it. Okay. It looks like it has some depth to it. And now I'm not putting these stones and all over here because we'll end the painting over here. But I'm just trying to give you an idea that by putting this, it will look like there's depth. It's in the front, and now we're going to be starting the painting. Anybody who's not understood something or wants to ask me a question before we start the painting? I'm also adding a little bit of, you know, pen marks, okay, in the roof area especially, so that it gives a nicer feel to it. All right, it looks more stony and a little weathered. Awesome, guys. Okay, just a little bit of it. So I kind of really like doing pen illustrations also, but of course color has its own charm. See, that's so sweet of you. Thank you so much. That's really, really kind of you to say. I'm no person like that. If you all know me, I'm really not that kind to unnecessarily get bada chada, but I like to teach, and if I teach, I want to give my best. Okay, you can't understand the bushes under the window. I'll repeat. So when we what's that between the two windows? There's a small lamp kind of a thing here, so I just sort of drew that. Okay, and there's a wire which goes along it. Can you all see this? What's that? I don't answer that. Which pen am I using? I'm using Brustro on Brustro Technical Liners. Yes, if you're using a pencil, please change it to pen before we start the watercolors. It's recommended to. Unless you don't want this kind of an effect. This is an ink and watercolor illustration. So of course we are doing it in ink and then we are adding colors to it. I'll repeat the bushes. Okay, these bushes are just random squiggly lines because here there's a yellow, prominent yellow kind of a flower, and then there are some random green lines. Here I've changed the design and made some leaves, and here again I've just made small bushes how we make it in school. You know, in school if you ever did how you drew bushes, just imagine you're doing that kind of work. When you're doing illustrations, it's very childlike. Okay, it's very childlike, and that's what I really enjoy about this. I'm making some flowers here. Yes, I'm using a waterproof pen. Guys, any questions? Because then we're going to start coloring in the next 2 minutes. Just taking a photo, 1 minute. Just give me 1 second, guys. Sorry. Yeah. Hello, doctor. How was your live? I couldn't attend it, unfortunately. Thank you, Suprita. Okay, guys, we're taking 1 more minute and we're going to start. Okay, just wait for 2 minutes. All right. So we wait for 2 more minutes and then we start coloring. And once we color it, I'm sure it's going to change into something really fantastic. So just stay along with me and paint along with me. Okay, let me just take my brush out. What do you want to paint with today? Let's work with 6 today. Thank you, Shikar. Thank you, Sumida. I have actually overloaded. I've got too many things that I have taken up on my plate of late. So I'm sort of overloaded, but it's a good thing. I kind of love to work and do things. So it's good that way. But my family is going a little bit upset because I'm not giving them the time. Yes, I'm using the new Brustro colors. Okay. I'm sure her live must be amazing. I've seen her pen art, Dr. Parideep from Atranki, and she does some amazing pen work. So I'm sure it must have been. So these are the Brustro half pen professional grade watercolors, and let's see. I'm using those, and they are really, really pigmented. So I am a little scared to do it for the first time on the live, but we'll of course enjoy it. The point is, you should enjoy the painting. That's more than enough. Right, I guys, we've wasted a lot of time. Let's begin at 7:30. I will not finish the live only otherwise. So what I'm doing, okay, is I'm just sort of first starting with the background. I'm taking a little bit of cerulean blue. If you don't have cerulean blue, take cobalt blue. And just see, can you see how much pigment? I've just touched the brush and this much pigment is there. And just sort of, give a little bit of highlight around the cottage, okay? Randomly, as if you're just making these kind of strokes. Okay. Again, don't try to cover and create clouds and all for an illustration. We're not going to work to that extent. Okay. Just see, now this is just a drop. Can you all see how much color is there? So I literally need to add a lot of water to dilute it. So it's very good in a way, but on a live, I think it's a little dangerous to use. Alright. Again, I'm just adding a little color and making a little bit of highlight. Can you see how randomly I've done the coloring? There is no actual shape, there's no actual form. It's just to accentuate the the background, sort of just to give the effect that the background is there, the clouds are there, but we're not really painting the background. You know what, there are a lot of dentists who actually paint and then really, really amazing work is done. So it's really good to see. Right? So a little bit of blue in the beginning. I'm using Artichaut art brushes. Right? We add a little bit of yellow if you want to. Here actually I don't want to, honestly, because the yellow is coming in the flowers. So I'm just adding a little bit of blue only. Right? Can you all see this effect? So it's highlighting the cottage now. Even right now, before doing anything now, you can still make out that the cottage is in front and the sky is behind it, before I've done anything else to it. Any other questions? Thank you. Yes, Mehak, you're not very late, but you have missed the sketch and now I can't really go back to it per se. Right, while we are letting this dry, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start proceeding because we cannot waste for too long. You can take any dark blue or a Prussian blue or an ultramarine blue, whatever you want, and start coloring the windows first, okay? We're going to color the windows first. So there's a nice indigo that they have. I'm going to add that indigo here. Okay, and keep it a little bit watery also. So if you want to add a little shade to it, you have an option to do that. Okay, So I'm adding indigo, or you can add Prussian blue, and you can add another little blue also to it. So here I'm just, maybe I'll take a little bit of ultramarine. Okay, what happens is this gives the effect that there is some depth in the artwork. Can you see? So even by doing this much, can you see that the window looks like there's a window there and there is something happening behind it? Okay, of course this, we have to wait for this to dry to layer it more. The same thing we're going to do even in the lower window. Why I'm doing the window right now? Can you share the link to your phone holder? It'll be difficult to share it on here. Maybe you can DM me, I'll send you the link. It's an Amazon Basics tripod stand. The video got blurred. Okay, give me a second. One second guys, I just check why it got blurred. Okay, it's good on your side. Alright, awesome. Right, so I'm just repeating, I'm taking a darker shade of blue, okay, and just finishing to color in between. Okay, so adding a little darkness in some areas, okay, a little depth with the color. I want you to see even in this much small area also I'm giving so much detail. Okay, although it's just an illustration, but when I'm doing, I can add so much detail in the windows also. Why I'm adding detail in the windows? Because it gives the illusion of depth, and in an illustration depth is very, very important. Okay, while this was still drying, I moved in the middle area, so I'll keep jumping here and there for the simplest reason that while one area is drying and I do not want the colors to keep blending here and there, I can keep just moving in the areas which are not connected. So while this is dried up, I can move in the roof area, right? This is almost dried up, so I'll just finish the roof area till that time. So I'll finish the chimney first. I am taking a little bit of burnt umber. Okay, you can add a little red, a little brown. I'm using a 6 number artichokes brush. Okay, and I'm just adding a little bit of burnt umber here. Now I'm shifting and taking a little bit of permanent rose, or you can take rose madder also. So it gives a more brick-like color. Can you see how the color has now become more brick-like? You can take a little bit of burnt sienna also. So even though I'm adding these colors, what I'm doing is basically I'm trying to get more depth in the painting. Awesome. Anybody has any questions, not understood something today I've not asked? I'm sorry. I'll show the photo again. So we've done the background, we've done the 2 windows, we've done the chimney. Awesome. The sky looks beautiful, thank you. Right, so we're going to do the roof now. Now for the roof, you can use different combinations. You can use a little bit of black and brown, or you can use a little bit of Payne's grey. So there's Payne's grey in this. So I'll take a little bit of Payne's grey, a little bit of black, a little bit of brown. So we get more shades in the roof also. Okay. Now it's more stony kind of an appearance, so you need to select your colors accordingly. Supposing if you don't have grey, you can add a little bit of white to your black and create that. You can also just stick to your browns. Doesn't have to match the exact shade, right? Okay, so while this is drying, I'll just wait for a minute and I'll first color the roof here also. No, today my wife is at her home now with my daughter, so she's not painted today. At live sessions, she doesn't get the time because my kid is just two. Thank you, Beena ji. Okay, it's got skipped out. Sir, in center. Okay, sorry. I just sort of lost the comments, guys. Yeah, I logged out by mistake on the other phone. So if you have any questions, kindly just message again because I just sort of got out of the other phone. I am at home. My wife is at her home. She's at her house. Means that's at my in-laws. Alright, so adding a little bit of black, a little bit of grey, a little bit of brown, and just finishing this color, okay? She'll be probably wondering why is this even getting discussed here. Can you tell me all the color combinations? I've used black, I've used white, black and white as in grey, but there is already Payne's grey in this French grey, sorry, there is French grey in this set. So I've sort of mixed that with burnt umber. You can also do it in Prussian too, like I just said. You can use any color that you feel like using. Please experiment. See, I'm using a little bit blue here also, which is a little indigo. So all blues and browns and blacks, they go well in the rock areas. So you can use those as a combination, right? Okay, anybody who's not understood this wants to ask me any questions? Adding a little bit of depth even to the chimney by adding a little bit of grey. Right? Thank you, Nishita. I cannot possibly sit and comment on that, Anjali. Right. So not wasting more time, we're going to start moving to the next part. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use a little bit of lemon yellow. Okay. And a little bit of any green that you have, sap green. ब्लू डोर के सेंटर में लाइट ड्रॉ किया है. Yeah, there's a cross which I have not colored because it's white in the original photo, and I've just sort of kept a little bit of light spaces in between because it looks like there is a window. Alright, if you make it opaque, it will not give you the window effect. Right, now what we're going to do, guys, is going to move to the next step. You're going to take lemon yellow, go to mix a little bit of any green that you have. So I have this nice green which is yellow green itself. Okay, that's blue, Prussian blue, black, white and brown. Okay, and just around this, first of all, I'm going to put a very light layer. Okay, make this as light as possible and as vibrant as you can. This is the background, okay, the grass area around the illustration. Okay, so even if it's a little bit yellowish, it's fine. Make it as vibrant as you can. And you see how I just leave the sides. Okay, I'm not going in the side area. Okay, we are just keeping an illustration, so the borders are sort of kept that way. Window के ऊपर sir, नहीं, that's the shadow area. Okay, that's the shadow area. So we're going to make that darkest. Okay, but we're going to paint that in the last area. Okay, because it's like the roof is sort of curving down. It's a stone roof which has rounded borders. So we're sort of going to paint the rounded borders now. In the end, we can't do it first because we're going to paint the white area. So we will need to decide how much we need to curve it down. Next, we're going to take a darker green And in this area, which is the bush area, going to paint the darker green. You can take sap green, you can take viridian, or whatever you have. Here there is malachite green, so I'm adding that. Make it dark, sufficiently dark. Okay, this is the background bush, okay, which is behind the entire painting. These are all colors from Brustro itself, and you can make a little bit of sort of a, you know, bushy kind of an effect because it's plants. Okay, so plants don't have to be very straight. You can make a little bit bushy kind of an effect, but make this sufficiently dark. If your green is not dark enough, simply add a little bit of dark blue to it. How many of you are painting along? Right? Practice, that's the only answer I can give. I think I told you in the DM also, it's only practice, there's nothing else. I have been really working on my artwork. There is no other secret to it. Right? Now we'll go back to our lemon yellow in the meanwhile. And in these areas, okay, we're going to put some lemon yellow flowers, okay. There's a little bit of green also, that's fine. You can take a little bit of gamboge also, or yellow, chrome yellow. Shalini, I hope you are enjoying. I know you must be so tired from the whole session, so I hope this is a little bit of relaxation for you. Okay, so what I've done is added a little bit of yellows here. How many years have I doing illustration? Frankly, not even one. I started last year. I have been painting since a very, very long time. But I sort of found a theme that I really liked doing last year. I've painted abstract paintings, I've painted portraits, I've done oil, I've done acrylic landscapes, everything. Okay, but when I started doing these, I sort of realized that this is something that I love teaching. This is something that I'm connected to, because I really used to love children fantasy books. I still do, and you know, these kind of remind me of that. Alright, now we move in. अभी सच ही तो बोला शालिनी, क्या गलत बोला? Okay, now I'm adding a little bit of more greens. Okay, when we're doing watercolors, we always layer them, so we first paint lighter colors. Can you see I've not painted anything in the building yet? Okay, that's the last thing we're going to do, because it's a wide building and we're sort of going to keep it wide. We have to accentuate everything around it, and then we have to build the color. Okay, so adding any green is fine. See how my brush, I'm just moving it randomly right and just making like circles, not even really bothered about how it's turning out to be, because again I'll be adding more colors to it in the next layer. So right now I'm just sort of adding a base coat with this lemon yellow green kind of a combination, and then we'll build on it. I used a 0.3 micron Brustro pen, and I'm just adding all these bushes right now. Okay, so just painting random bushes for now, and then we'll get color and depth into it. Okay, can you see right now everything is looking one shade only, more or less uniform. We're going to get all the details, don't worry. Same thing, add all these greens, a little bit of greens here. In these leaves also you can add these greens. When you do an illustration, doesn't have to be necessarily going exactly in the pen. You can go a little bit here and there out. Okay, this is still not dried, but doesn't matter. I'm just putting a little bit of these colors in. Okay, okay, what I'm just doing is different shades of green. I'm just putting dots. Okay, My handwriting is very cute. Okay. My handwriting is very simple and childlike. I think I cannot. I mean, I had learned calligraphy at basic level when I was in school, but I think it's too much effort. And I realize, so I do something called as a DMIT test, which is called a Dermatoglyphics Multiple Intelligence Test. So I have another account called the Thinking Palette Academy. You can check that. So where I do this test called DMIT, where I actually found out my traits, and I found that I was not very skilled with very fine work. Okay, like my fine work skills are lesser than my gross skills, and that's my painting style also speaks that way. Hi Varun. That's so stereotypical of you to say that it's not doctor like. Why do doctors have to be stereotyped as something like that? Alright, so again I'm coming now. We've done these greens. Now I'm taking a little bit of crimson, okay, or rose madder or whatever you have, and we're going to add a little bit of color with the rose madder. I'll tell you why we do this. Okay, when we have the painting where there is nothing in another color scheme, it's going to look very offset. So the chimney and these flowers, okay, even if it's not there that much in the original, we will make a little bit of color with the opposite shade to give in a little bit of life to it. Okay, so just add a little bit of this crimson or rose madder or whatever shade you have. A little browns will also look nice because it's earthy, and give a little color to it. Once we finish the painting, it's going to look much better. Don't worry, we've not added any depth yet to the actual building. But yes, flowers add life, right? So we want to give a little life to the painting. So by adding a little bit of this crimson, we'll add more life to it. Again, I'm repeating, it's not that much there in the original, but I'm adding it so that it looks nicer. Now while this is all dried, I'll start working on the depth in those areas, and the last thing we're going to do is work on the building. So again, taking a darker shade of green. Now first I'll paint the hedge. Okay, see how I'm leaving the top area a little bit lighter. Okay, I'm making the hedge sufficiently dark. Okay. Only the top area I'm leaving a little bit light, otherwise I'm making the edge sufficiently dark. So now we know that the boundary is set, and this is what the area we're working in. I'm so sorry, we already reached 7:50. I've not even realized. Okay, next we're going to paint a little bit of this bush area here and a little bit of bush area here. Okay, then we're going to take your darker shades and you're going to give some dark shades like this. You can take a little bit of, different shades. So I'll show you how. I'm taking a little bit of red, mixing that with a little bit of green. I get a dirtier brownish green, and add that also in this hedge. Okay, can you see this looks different? So you automatically feel that there is something else happening. Okay, and guys, please check out, I've put in a lot of posts today which might be fun to a lot of you all. So if you all haven't seen them, do that. Yes, but sometimes I don't realize it and I go over time here. It's not great. I usually try to time myself quite well, but today I've really just gone very loose. Awesome. And a little bit of these kind of strokes here a little red, a little bit blue. You can add all these, shades to it, so it looks nicer. Can you see how I'm getting different color effects in the bushes also? I want you to see that. Okay, taking a little bit of orange, adding that also in between. Again, I'm saying this is not there in the original, but I'm adding a little bit because it will look nicer. Yes, unless Instagram gives me an issue, I always save the live. But I have experienced this very recently also, that the screen just blanked off. So, but if it's not there, I will figure out something. I always download the IGTV if that option comes, so that at least I have a backup. Right, adding these little shades of green and color, different colors, to get this kind of a effect. You can take a little bit of blue. Blues and greens are in the same cool color scheme, so they go well together. Okay, thank you, Dipshika, if I have pronounced that correctly. I'm not very sure. Can you see I'm just adding a little bit of these dark leaves? Yes, we've still, once the main building comes in, no, that's when the life will come in. Okay, you can make some lines like this also if you want, just to give a little bit of more life in the grass. Okay, and this bush is also left, so I'll add that, and then we'll be waiting for 2 minutes, and we're going to start working on the main building. Okay, notice I'm just literally dropping some colors. Okay, I'm not even doing anything, I'm just dropping some color to give the effect of leaves. Okay guys, we'll wait for 2 minutes. If anybody has any questions, ask me now, because then once I start coloring the cottage, I won't be able to do anything to it, because it will be a very light wash just to give the effect of shadow to it. So if you all have any questions, please ask me now. Anything you all did not understand, any doubts that you have. Are we all good? Ready to move forward? Okay, I assume everybody's on par. So what I'm doing is taking a little bit of light. Okay, I'm taking a little bit of violet, okay, which is Prussian blue plus crimson, and a little bit made it diluted. Okay, but if you don't have that, you can just take any shade is fine, even brown is fine. Okay, now take a little care of what I'm doing. First, I'm just sort of giving a border to this, okay, because this is the side. This will be darker than the front area, okay, and then just rubbing it off. Can you all see, just in doing this much, okay, by just adding a little bit of shade. Hi Susan. 0.3 fine liner was used, and I think that's about the questions that I've answered. Okay, you can also take a little brown. Again, we cannot do white, so what we're going to do is take any shade which gives the effect of shadow. You can actually take gray if you have gray, that's also fine, and make it very diluted and just give this kind of an effect. I don't know how much seen on the video, but basically what I'm doing is just on the sides I'm adding a little color. Okay. Yes, it's supposed to be colorful and brighter than the original because it's an illustration, right? If it's not, then it's not looking like an illustration. Adding a little bit of blue. Okay. Can you see some depth has come in now? Sir, blue windows के center में क्या draw किया है ये please. This is just an cross. Okay, it's the bar of the window, and this is a lamp. Okay, ये bar है window का, and this is the lamp. So that's all I've drawn. I've drawn nothing else. Okay. Same thing you're going to do on this side. So you can take a little bit of brown, you can take a little bit of blue, purple, whatever you want, and you're going to give a little bit of shade here. See how diluted my color is? So you still feel that it is in the white shade, but now you can see some depth to it. See the white here and see the white here. Right? We still have to give the main shadow here and add a little depth, so don't worry. So if you are wondering why this is looking empty, so we still have to do that. Now behind the bushes also you need to give a little bit of color. And the same thing you can do on the smaller side. Okay, light blue, brown, purple, all these shades are acceptable. Don't have to make it exactly the same shade as mine, but you just have to give the effect that there is some depth to it. Okay, that is the point. We want to give the effect that there is some depth to the painting. Okay, so some purple. Purple is a nice color to use for shadows. Okay, and lastly we're going to add the, just wait for this to dry a little bit and then we'll cover this area. Okay, in the meanwhile I just add a little more depth to the roof. So taking little bit of black, again just a little bit. Normally I don't use black a lot, but it is a stone roof, so black will look nice. So what I enjoy about live sessions like this is because I've not created this artwork before, you know. I'm doing this directly in the live. That sort of makes it fun for me also, because then it makes me think, what is the next step, what should I do? Then I can teach you better, no? Because I don't know, so how I'll think, I'll be able to teach you also better. Okay, adding a little depth to the windows. I think the windows need a little more depth. You can use purple, you can use browns, you can use blues. Okay, you can use black in limited amount also, but you need to be a little careful because it can overpower and make it look very dull. Right, adding little more depth here. Then to the lamp, so there is some lamp here. Adding this chrome yellow here. I'm adding a chrome yellow here also. And we'll finish the top area. So I'm taking a little bit of indigo, a little bit of brown,